Hey, what's going on, everybody? I know today's video is probably going to be a little bit of a touchy subject, especially for a lot of people in the Stadia community. But all I ask is that you actually watch the video, listen to what I have to say, and then tell me your thoughts in the comments after that. So with that being said, let's get into it. Okay, so as the title suggests, yes, at this point in time, I do believe maybe Google should start looking into making Stadia subscription based, similar to how Netflix is. And I kind of want to lay out my reasoning as to why, and hopefully, I don't get flamed too much, but that's why I said I want people to just listen to the points and then see how you feel about it at the end of the video. And of course, please leave those comments down there if you feel like I'm completely wrong, completely off base, or if you agree with me, or if you just feel like you have a slightly different point, or maybe you want to kind of just expound upon something that I said during the video. So my first reason as to why I think they should go more subscription based actually has to do with the game catalog itself. And it has nothing to do negatively with maybe the amount of games or the type of games that's on the catalog. It actually has to do with the correlation between the Stadia Pro games that's given out for free every month and the total number of games on the catalog. So as it stands now, at the end of the month of March, we'll have 156 games on the Stadia game catalog. As of November 2019, all the way up to the month of March for Stadia Pro members, they've given away 75 games for free. So if you do the math, that's about 48% of the total games on the Stadia catalog has been given away for free at some point to Stadia Pro members. And when you have something that close, it's almost like a 50-50 shot for every game that's going to come to the catalog probably will end up getting put on the free monthly games for Stadia Pro members. It makes it very difficult for people in your customer base to want to pay outright for a game. Now, you will come across those people who will pay for a game just because they really enjoy it, or maybe because they want to be able to play it, even if they lapse in their pro members, their pro member status. If there's someone who is not always a pro member, you'll get those people who want to purchase it. But for people like myself, who's been a Stadia Pro member ever since day one, currently still am, and don't see any reason why I wouldn't be in the future, I'm very hesitant to purchase games on the platform just due to the fact that I know it's probably going to come out for free at some point. I've already got stuck with that one time. I actually purchased Grid on the platform, and then later on down the line, Grid was a free game. And that kind of cemented it for me that, yeah, I'm probably not going to be purchasing any more games outright on this platform just due to the fact that I don't want that to keep happening. And sometimes games actually come out on the free, on the Stadia Pro free games, maybe about 2 to 3 months after it hit the catalog. So that's a pretty fresh buy for someone who just purchased that game to turn around 2 months later and see it being given away for free. So like I said, with so many free games already being tied to the Stadia Pro membership, you're talking about almost 50% of their catalog. It's almost like Google is already operating as a subscription service without them really knowing it or really noticing it. Now, my second reason why I believe Stadia should go subscription is something that's kind of been a dark cloud over Stadia ever since it's been released and ever since it was first introduced all those many months ago. The dark cloud that constantly hangs over Stadia, and Google themselves really haven't given us a way forward or anything to kind of say to this when people ask us these questions as Stadia members, is, well, what happens if things go dark? What happens if the day comes where Google decides that Stadia just was not a good return on investment and they just can't see themselves going any further with the platform, and they give us that end of life date? End of life, this day, servers are going dark. What would you do with all the games you've purchased on the platform? What would you do with them? Where would you play them? Now, we're all not dumb. We know Google's not going to give us a voucher for money of games we've purchased so we can go use that on PlayStation or Xbox or PC. That's not happening. So if you believe that's happening, wake up, because it's not. And as of this point, they've given us no indication that they are doing anything to give us a way of playing these games outside of the Stadia service, or even like some archived server base for Stadia for people who were members to just keep playing on into eternity. And I don't really see that as something they would do either. So it's like they're not doing anything to actually address that issue and that fear. That's a really real fear for people that's in the community, and that's also a fear for people who haven't even tried the service, and that's something that could be keeping them at bay, keeping them away from the service, because not only can people who play the games on Stadia, we can't tell them anything about it, but the service provider itself has no answer, has given no indication of what they would do when that game or when that day happens, other than it's not going to happen, which really is not any type of security to give people on something like this. But if you went more subscription based, if you went the Netflix route, see, Netflix, if it goes dark tomorrow, nobody will feel robbed. Nobody will feel like they lost an investment into Netflix, because as of right now, you can't purchase movies through Netflix. So you don't feel like you actually own anything on the Netflix catalog. You feel like you own the right to access that catalog every month because you pay your monthly bill. And you know that if I don't pay my monthly bill, then I can't access Netflix. And it's just, that's all it is. I'm paying to access the catalog, but I don't own anything on the catalog. So if Netflix doesn't make it at the end of the year and they decide December 31st, 2021, that's the last day we can stream movies and shows through Netflix, we'll just find a different service. Nobody will be feeling like that they got robbed. But if that was to happen with Stadia, Google's going to have a lot of answers to give out to people who purchase these digital games that now have no way of playing them at all. So if they moved it over to a subscription-based platform, then they could also have the same thing to where, we would all understand, hey, we're just paying to access this catalog. We're paying to access these games, and we don't really own these games. As long as you're selling them, people are going to feel like they own them. And as long as people own them, people are going to want to play them as much as they want to play them, as long as they want to play them. So if you're not going to give a way to play them if the service goes dark, then you might just want to look at going to subscription based. Now, the third and final reason why I feel like they should go subscription based is just this. And it actually piggybacks off the second point, is that Google is going to have a hard time pulling people over from console and pulling people over from PC. It's the harsh reality of it. It's like if someone else came into the cell phone game, you're going to have a hard time pulling people away from Samsung. You're going to have a hard time pulling people away from Apple. Those are the two main competitors. It's the name of the game. I don't see anybody really beating out Microsoft and Sony when it comes to consoles. And we already know Microsoft is pretty much PC as well. So good luck there. And that's why I think that subscription would be better. Just due to the fact that I have tons of friends who buy games on PlayStation, buy them on Xbox, and even, friends that play on PC. You're going to be very hard pressed to get someone to purchase a game twice. They're not going to purchase it on PS5 and then turn around and purchase it on Stadia. They're not going to purchase it on Xbox and purchase it on Stadia. And they're not going to purchase it on PC and purchase it anywhere else, because we all know how PC players are. But if Google was subscription based or Stadia was subscription based, it'd be a lot easier to get someone to kind of just pay that $10, maybe $15 a month in order to access the entire library of games and be able to continue playing those games on the go. Because now we have games starting to come out that full crossplay is actually enabled, to where you can play across all platforms, pick up where you left off, and play with all your friends on other platforms as well. You've already seen a lot of cross save being enabled in the games like Destiny and things like that, to where you can pick up, on that other platform, but you're still kind of locked in with that player base when you play. So if you're playing on Stadia, or if you're playing on PC or Xbox or PS5, you can only play with other players on that same platform. But now that cross play is actually starting to trickle into it, we actually have Outriders coming up on April 1st, fully compatible with crossplay across all platforms. Those are the type of games that Google should actually be really investing into getting over to the Stadia platform. And if you go subscription based, makes it, like I said, a lot easier to pay that monthly fee, so that when you're away from your home, when you're away from your console, your PC, maybe you're out at work on lunch, maybe you're just out on vacation, maybe you're just out at the bus stop, maybe you're riding the bus, maybe you're riding the train, whatever, but you're out mobile and you might want to play a game, and you can play that game right there on your phone. You can play the game right there on your tablet, on your laptop, and you don't need something with the same firepower as maybe your PS5 or the same firepower as your PC at the house in order to maybe just grind out some quests, maybe just, you know, play a little multiplayer with your friends, nothing too serious, but it's just something you want to do to pass the time while you are away from the house. Or if you got people at your house and you know, you can't get to your console, maybe some of your family's playing it and you just kind of want to play it off to the side, Google Stadia is great for stuff like that. So I don't want this video to be too long. I just wanted to lay out a few reasons why I think maybe as of right now, Google should look into going more subscription based. As I said, I hope you actually watched the video. This is not a Stadia is dead if it doesn't do this video. It's not. I'm just saying this is just something I'm throwing out, my opinion. You know, I could be completely wrong, and that's why I said, please, you know, leave your opinions down in the comments. I mean, whether you agree with me or not, that's fine. I'm always up for debate, always up to discuss the platform and the direction it should go, and maybe the direction it's currently going, if that's actually even a good idea. So yeah, if you like the video, please like the video, and hope you guys subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so that you can, you know, be notified when we drop further content. As always, you know, we're always thankful for everyone who does watch the channel and has been supporting the channel since we've been doing this. It's been really fun, and feel like I don't know, it's just nice putting stuff out here, you know, getting people to collaborate on it, or just getting people to put their ideas down in the comments and kind of let us know, you know, how they feel about the content we're dropping. So like I said, as always, thanks for the support, and we out.